My overall Star Wars knowledge is pretty limited. I'm pretty sure I've seen the movies, like the originals and the prequels, at least once. I've seen a couple episodes of the Clone Wars, but that's about it. I get most of my Star Wars fix from the LEGO games. Now, this is one of the earliest LEGO games published by Traveler's Tales, meaning that it was before they introduced voice acting into the series. Now, just for shits and giggles, I'm going to explain the story using only the context that the game gives me. And it ain't a whole lot, so there's going to be a lot of guesswork, and we'll see what happens.
The game begins with a red ship landing at a space station, and these two guys get out. Let's call them Long Hair Man and Short Hair Man. After that, the red ship is shot and destroyed, and you're placed in control of Long Hair Man and Short Hair Man. This is a great intro level. You start with two Jedi and you're introduced to the game's main mechanics. You can attack and jump and use the Force on specific glowing objects. Most of the time you use the Force on objects, it just shakes them or something and you get studs. Studs are all LEGO game currency, but they're just these little coin things. Sometimes to progress you must use the Force to move or manipulate objects like doors or bridges. The two Jedi run into this silver droid. This guy's only purpose is to use these switches to open doors. Most of the time droids are a hassle to have with you, so I try to ignore them as often as possible. Long Hair Man and Short Hair Man get to this ship and it takes them to this jungle planet where they save this weird dude who jumps higher than every other character for some reason. The weird guy takes them underwater to this green dude with a strange head. Long Hair Man waves his hand at him, so the green dude lets them take a ship to this castle place. They rescue this lady and her guards. This is Queen Padme. This is the first level to introduce a blaster character. Blaster characters can shoot their gun and use these red panels to grapple specific points. Only downside is they can't use the Force or double jump like a Jedi can. I should also mention that all characters other than droids can build broken LEGO objects to make useful things to progress. It's a crucial mechanic that is a staple of the LEGO game series. They all arrive at this big silver ship and they take it to a desert planet and this thing breaks on it. I think it's their engine or power source or whatever. They explore the planet and meet this little boy, so we'll call him Little Boy. He shows them that they can win a new engine in a pod race, so he agrees to win it for them. This is the first vehicle level of the game and it's actually pretty fun. Unfortunately, I can't say the same about all the rest of them, but we'll get to that when we get to it.
Wow, this level is so good I can play it with one hand!
After that, they take the little boy with them back to the castle on the jungle planet. It was at this point that I noticed that lots of the characters' animations are slow and robotic, and it makes moving through larger levels a little bit of a hassle. They fight through the castle and eventually run into this guy with a red face and a double-bladed lightsaber. Long Hair Man and Short Hair Man pursue, and this level requires that you learn that if you time it correctly, you can deflect blaster shots right back at enemies to kill them. They catch up to Red Face and you start the first boss fight. Lots of the boss fights go the same way. You hit each other back and forth and eventually use the Force to throw objects back at the boss. You can cheese the bosses by doing a jumping Jedi slam, but I don't like doing this because it doesn't make for a very entertaining boss fight. If you time your attacks, you can also break through blocks, and that's what I like to do. Also, your partner will just stand there and not help you at all.
Asshole.
The guy with the red face kills Long Hair Man and throws Short Hair Man down a hole, but he jumps back out and kills the guy with the red face. Everybody celebrates at the castle, and that brings the first episode to an end. I feel like now I should mention the shop. You can use your collected studs to purchase characters, extras, hints, or put in cheat codes. You may have already noticed that I used a couple codes at the start of my playthrough.
It's cheating! It's cheating!
The episode begins with Short Hair Man, now with long hair and a beard, and the little boy, who's now become a short hair man, protecting Padme while she sleeps.
I don't know why the fuck they made both of them ginger, because neither one of them has red hair in the movies.
An assassin tries to attack her, but it fails and tries to escape. Long Hair Man and Short Hair Man give chase in another vehicle level.
Okay, I'm gonna be completely honest right now.
I hate almost every single vehicle level. Almost all of them boil down to holding forward and shooting, and when it's not that, it's long and tedious back and forth with these stupid purple bombs.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
They catch the assassin, but the assassin gets assassinated by this guy, Jango Fett. Longhair Man goes to this rainy planet with these long-necked dudes and these clone dudes, and he finds Jango Fett and makes a perverted face at him, making him run away. He gives chase, but Jango escapes, but not before Longhair Man puts a tracker on his ship. He follows him to this orange planet, but it turns out
It's a trap!
Shorthair Man and Padme go to the planet to rescue him, but they get captured as well. They're put in this battle arena where we're introduced to Count Dooku, Jango Fett's boss. Our heroes are rescued by Samuel L. Jackson.
I have had it with these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane!
Count Dooku tries to escape, and Longhair Man and Shorthair Man give chase, once again leading to another slow fucking vehicle level. They catch Dooku and the boss battle begins. About halfway through, Shorthair Man gets his hand cut off and is out of the fight. All of a sudden, Yoda tags in. They fight off Dooku, but he uses a distraction and escapes. He goes to his boss, who we'll call, Old Guy, and then they laugh together and the episode ends. This episode begins with another damn vehicle level. A Star War, if you will. I found out that this game has motion controls for this one level that I briefly messed with. The two ships land at a station, and Longhair Man, now back to short hair with his beard, and Shorthair Man, now with long hair and a scar on his face, get out of the ships. They've come to rescue this guy, other old guy, and they run into Dooku again. Longhair Man straight up kills him, and they start to leave until they run into this robot guy with 4 arms. The robot escapes, and our heroes land their ship safely at their base or whatever.
I have had it with these motherfucking snakes on this
Shorthair Man goes to find the robot and very promptly kills him with very little fanfare.
Hello there.
Cut to Yoda arriving on a forest planet to meet Chewbacca, who will become more important in the later episodes. The old guy laughs, and then all of the clones, aka the good guys, turn on the Jedi and kill all of them. Yoda escapes the forest planet, and the only remaining Jedi are Yoda, Shorthair Man, and Longhair Man. Yoda and Shorthair Man meet up and find a video recording of Longhair Man kneeling before the evil old guy, meaning he's turned to the dark side.
Dun dun dun.
Longhair Man is seen on a lava planet with Padme, who's now pregnant with his children, trying to convince him to turn back to the light side. Shorthair Man appears and they have a huge fight. This is one of my favorite levels in the whole game. You play as Longhair Man and Shorthair Man trying to get to safety on the collapsing planet, and at the end they have to fight each other, so player 1 will have to fight player 2. Shorthair Man cuts off Longhair Man's arms and legs, leaving him for dead. Padme is shown giving birth to twins, and then she dies. The twins' names are Luke and Leia. Old guy goes to recover Longhair Man and rebuilds him, turning him into Darth Vader. I think this part of the game is less fun to play in general because there's less Jedi to go around, but I do think that the level design got a little improvement. The episode begins with Vader and some stormtroopers attacking a ship with Leia on it. She gives R2-D2 a disc and she ships him off with C-3PO to the desert planet from episode 1, but they're captured immediately by some short-hooded guys. Luke Skywalker buys them from the hood guys, but they rob them back from him in the middle of the night. Luke goes to get them back, but he's jumped by some cave people, but then an old dude starts dancing at them and they run away. Wait, this isn't just some old dude, it's Shorthair Man. I think he survived long enough to earn his real name. Luke, now along with Obi-Wan Kenobi, rescue R2 and C-3PO and get the message that Leia sent asking for help. Luke and Obi-Wan meet Han Solo, who they convince to let them use his ship to go and save Leia. The bad guys blow up Leia's home planet and then they laugh at her when she cries about it. Luke and the gang arrive on the enemy base called the Death Star, and disguise themselves as stormtroopers to get inside. While inside, they come across a stormtrooper hot tub and get trampled by a stormtrooper stampede. They find and rescue Leia and make it back to their ship, but on the way out, Luke sees Vader kill Obi-Wan. They meet up with the Rebels, a secret team who's against Darth Vader and the Death Star. And long story short, Luke blows up the Death Star, ending Episode 4. Episode 5 begins on a snow planet with Luke being attacked by a snow monster. He rescues himself by using the Force to retrieve his lightsaber and cuts off the snow monster's arm. He's taken back to the Rebel base by Han Solo, but they get attacked by these giant walking things. Luke gets in his ship and fights off some of the walking things and takes one down impressively on foot. Meanwhile, while the base is under siege, Han Solo decides to become Sonic the Hedgehog and hits on Leia a lot before they escape in Han Solo's ship. Luke gets in his own ship and goes to a swampy planet, and suddenly Yoda. After a couple of minutes of hanging with Yoda, Luke learns the Force and now has all of the Jedi abilities. He gets visions of fighting Darth Vader and decides to seek him out to end this once and for all. Luke goes to the Cloud City and finds Darth Vader for a boss fight. This is one of the few levels where the only other player is a droid, so I imagine if you're playing 2 players, then the second player is not going to have a good time. After a long boss fight, Darth Vader cuts off Luke's hand like his own hand was cut off in Episode 2. He shows him that Vader is indeed Luke's father and asks him to join the dark side with him. Luke refuses and falls down a hole where he gets stuck hanging on some wiring under the Cloud City. Meanwhile, Han and Leia arrive, not knowing that Luke is there, and are greeted by Lando, who hits on Leia real hard and gives them up to Darth Vader. Han is taken and is frozen in some stone or whatever and is given away to Boba Fett, Jango Fett's son. Leia and the gang chase after him, but he escapes, so Team Leia rescues Luke and get to like some space hospital or whatever, giving Luke a robot hand, and the episode ends on this truly devastating cliffhanger. The final episode begins with Leia and Chewbacca arriving at Jabba's palace to rescue Han. Turns out Boba Fett sold Han Solo to Jabba, so now he's stuck in Jabba's palace. Leia goes in and finds Luke in a new fit, and they bust in and save Han from the stone, and Leia starts hitting on him immediately. Jabba finds them and drops them into a pit with a giant monster that Luke kills with little trouble, but they end up getting captured again anyway. Jabba takes Leia hostage and sends everyone else out on these floating ships to be fed to a monster in the ground, but Luke does a freaky little dance and escapes. Luke kills Boba Fett by dropping him unceremoniously into the pit, and they have a surprise dance party and Leia murders Jabba in cold blood and they escape. They get to a forest planet and meet these little brown dudes that worship C-3PO. Luke and Leia take some speeders and blow some stuff up in probably the only good vehicle level since the first one, and then Luke surrenders himself to Vader and goes with him to the new Death Star that they're rebuilding. Leia regroups with Han Solo and the rest of the gang and they blow up like a big enemy base or something. I don't know what was going on. Luke and Vader arrive at the new Death Star and the old guy from Episode 2 is back. He uses his lightning hands on Luke, and Vader, seeing his son in pain, finally decides to turn back to the light side of the Force and teams up with his son to kill the old guy. In the process, the little boy, who became Short Hair Man, and then Long Hair Man, and then finally Darth Vader succumbs to his wounds from the fight. Anakin Skywalker looks at his son one final time and dies. Luke escapes the Death Star, and then the Rebels manage to destroy the brand new Death Star before it's even built. They all celebrate on the Forest planet, and Luke sees ghost versions of Obi-Wan, Yoda, and Anakin. Finally, peace has been brought to the galaxy, ending the game. At least until they decided to continue the story with new movies. In the grander scheme of the LEGO series, LEGO Star Wars is pretty simple and limited, but where it shines the most is in the extras. Like all LEGO games, after you finish the story, you are encouraged to go back and collect everything with all of your new characters in free play mode. You can collect mini-kits, red bricks, and collect enough studs to reach True Jedi. The game also has a ton of bonus levels. like levels from the original first 2 LEGO Star Wars games, LEGO City levels where you just go around collecting studs, and even a trailer for LEGO Indiana Jones, where when you watch it, you unlock Indy as a playable character. There are also some extra bounty hunter missions where you have to search through the levels as the bounty hunters, searching for certain characters hiding somewhere. I enjoyed this game for the most part, except for those damn vehicle levels.
Motherfucking
For me, the appeal of these games is the franchise that the game is based on, and I'm not really a huge Star Wars fan, but these games have a universal pick-up-and-play appeal. They've got simple and easy gameplay that anyone can understand, but that's also the game's biggest flaw. It gets repetitive real quick. I was actually falling asleep during longer play sessions because you use almost all of the abilities in the first few levels. Because of that, I think the best way to play this is in short bursts, so it'll stay fresh. But other than that, I would recommend this game, especially for younger kids, or to play co-op with somebody.
I am very tired and don't want to write an end joke.